Welcome, folks. It's time to dig into a fantastic game by Yacht Club Games. This is the Three Amiibros. I am Will.
I'm Jordan.
And I'm Daniel.
And welcome to our commentary on Shovel Knight. I love this game.
This is a good game, dog.
I really love this game. I think it's a great callback.
I haven't played it.
Have you not played this game?
What?
I thought you would have played it.
Everybody tells me I have to play it, and I've been wanting to, and I just haven't, and I feel very bad about myself right now.
It's on everything. It's on every system. You have no excuse.
Like, here's what I'll say about Shovel Knight. Like, I'm not a huge platformer person. Like, I like them, but they're never, like... There are very few of my favorite games are platformers. Like, there's probably 2 games that I can think of that I really, really like that are platformers. I guess 3, because this is actually one of them. And like I have no real nostalgia for this sort of stuff, and I've never beaten a Mega Man game before. I don't love this sort of thing, but like, this is a very good game. I like it a lot.
It's funny you mentioned Mega Man because, well, first off, this game is clearly very Mega Man inspired. Instant death spikes, but this is also a really good game to get introduced to platformers if you haven't, really been accustomed to the world before. Because this game does a great job of...
Order of No Quarter?
Yes, those are the primary villains of the game. But, yeah, we'll get to the story shortly, but, this game does such a great job of, being an introductory platformer game to those who haven't, delved into the genre. But if you want, challenge... This game also does a great job of presenting that for people who want to go, and that's usually for people who either want to speedrun this game or 100% this game, because then you'll definitely find the challenge.
It almost spoils you because even though this game is a game that looks really old school and is obviously going for this very 8-bit vibe, though it's got a little bit more color than an 8-bit game, but it's pretty close.
It's not 8 bits. It's maybe 16 to 20 to 20.
No. This game is meant to look like an 8-bit game, but the colors...
Not 8-bit. No, the colors are not 8-bit.
No, of course not. But again, the style of graphics are
16-bit, I'd say, actually.
No. This is way too... This is way too, simple in terms of how the sprites look.
No, because the thing is, 8-bit things had to get, actually a lot simpler.
Yeah, I'd say it's somewhere in between.
It is, whatever. Listen, it's not either of them. But stylistically, especially in terms of, the menu and all this sort of stuff, the UI is very, NES era, the music too, it's all this sort of stuff. But anyways, even though it looks old, let's say, game design wise, it's actually very modern, in that it curves really nicely. It's got upgrade systems. Some of just the control is sort of snappy in a way that a lot of old school games are not. So it's really good in that respect, and I think that's part of what makes the game work really well. Is it's not just Mega Man super punishing difficulty. It gets hard, but it's always hard in a fair way. I definitely died a lot in this game, but I never felt oh, fuck this game. I was always okay, I can very clearly see how I'm supposed to get through this.
Right. Yeah. And the death system isn't very punishing either, as we will see at some point, I'm sure, in this playthrough.
Yeah, there's checkpoints everywhere, and it's all this stuff. It's it really wants you to progress in a way that I think a lot of old games don't, because old games were invested in being difficult because first off, it comes from a lot of these games come from arcade tropes, and arcades are all about making you want to pump your quarters back in, and also just because it's a lot of old Nintendo games and stuff are not actually long. They make up for that by being difficult, and thus taking you a long time to beat, even though there's not actually a lot in there.
Yeah.
But this game doesn't try to do that, right? It doesn't try to limit you in that way. This game is a game that wants you to beat it.
Yeah. The whole thing I was thinking about 8-bit. I recently had to teach a very short session about pixel art before the new year, so I'm just kind of oh wait, no, it's not 8-bit. I'm sorry. So anyway, I actually have played. Correction, I actually have played a little bit of it because I played the first level in the demo at like a Best Buy one time.
Sure. I have not played a demo at a Best Buy for a very long time.
Yeah, this was like the demo on like the PS4, and I was like, this is cool and all, and I just sort of never really followed up on it, even though I don't know it's on everything. And
Great display of the power of the PlayStation 4.
I know. That was actually my thought. I'm thinking like, this is not something I would like that demonstrates how powerful the PS4 is. I've actually been debating for about a year whether or not to get this on my Wii U or my 3DS, and I just haven't really bothered to do either.
I would recommend 3DS. I feel like this game controls much better on the 3DS. The Wii U, which I'm playing this playthrough on, is a little clunky because of the gamepad, but it also works great because of the touchpad. That being said, the 3DS, you get best of both worlds. You get the touchpad for easy access to all your items, but you also get the ease of controls because of the way the 3DS handles.
And you can just do it on the go.
Yeah, and you can totally just do this on the go.
I played Shovel Knight. I played Shovel Knight almost exclusively in Ryerson's Transmedia Zone.
Are you serious? How?
I don't know. I spent a lot of time just like hanging out there, kind of, at a certain point, because I was in there. I was in a cohort, and that ends up just like me wasting a lot of time in that area. And so yeah, I was just kind of hanging out and playing Shovel Knight.
Were you streaming on your computer?
No. I had it on my 3DS.
Okay.
For context, for anyone tuning in, that's where Dan, Jordan, and I actually met at Ryerson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do we all meet in the Transmedia Zone?
I think Jordan, I think you and I knew each other before then, but we started to get to know each other more when we were all in cohorts at the zone.
Yeah, I can't remember if I met you before or after the Transmedia Zone was a thing.
Oh, I'm pretty sure before.
I think I met Jordan at maybe in like that video game course that we took. I think that might have been the first time I actually met you.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
I can't remember. Oh my god, we're getting old. Our memories are failing.
Yeah, whatever. So whatever. For the Three Amiibro audience, you get half of an origin story. This episode.
Speaking of origin stories, the story of this game is you're Shovel Knight and his partner in crime. Well, not crime, but it's a good pal, Shield Knight. They were searching for treasure, and in this one perilous palace dungeon, Shield Knight unfortunately got captured and destroyed. I think is the word they used in the beginning. I can't remember, but she's not around anymore.
Yeah, there's this is the other thing that makes this game really modern, I think, is like it's not like its storytelling is like amazing or anything. I mean, it's a pretty basic story, but it's
that's a solid one.
There are moments of mood in this game where they are clearly like, even though it's not a super complicated story, or even though it's like, you know, it's written sort of like an old school game would be, there are moments in this game plot-wise that you would not get in an old Nintendo game.
No, and I think it's very well paced and very well thought out.
Yeah.
So we're fighting a bootleg Knight?
Yeah, not Shadow.
Yeah, starting you off with a mirror match, actually, kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a great introductory fight, though.
Original Shovel Knight, don't steal.
Do not steal. Yeah, that's the other thing about this game. Each of the knights that you face as bosses are just so well fleshed out. And I think that's incredible because you only get to interact with them for such a short amount of time.
Yeah. So this is the stuff I'm talking about in terms of like mood of like every time you beat a level, you get this whole thing of Shovel Knight falling asleep and then having this like dream sequence. And the dream sequence sort of changes, it changes over time. And you know, again, like these are simple characters, and you know they are very obviously like sort of two-dimensional video game characters, but stuff like this is just like, it's kind of sophisticated. You know, you get a sense of like actual mourning and longing and all that sort of stuff from this, and the boss dialogue that you get also like is really good at showing you the characters' relationships to each other in like 3 lines of text.
Yes, you do get a sense of like a backstory with all these guys, especially with Polar Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. The demo I played pretty much stopped at that boss battle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we're in the hub.
There's even a village in this game.
Yeah, we're in the hub world now, and this is this is the bard. If you collect music pieces throughout the levels and your adventure, you can sell them back to the bard. He gives you money, and you also get to play the songs at will.
Yeah.
And this is probably a good point to say, I love Jake Kaufman's work in this game. It's just like the Shantae series, fantastic compositions.
Yeah, for me, the music in this game is just because it's like tonally, like it's quote unquote just chiptune. It's like a thing I didn't really take a lot of note of when I was playing it, but it's like definitely it is in terms of chiptune soundtracks. It is on the upper echelon of it.
Oh, it's catchy. Sure. It's definitely catchy. So that's the Gotition. If you get meal tickets, you can go upstairs to the jolly guy on the left there, the gastrometer. And he'll cook you a meal that will increase your life.
Cooking you something good, man. Man, this is making me want to play this game again. I never went back and played the Plague Knight stuff.
It's I'm not a fan.
I mean, it's just the game again, but you have a different character, right?
A little bit. They changed up some. I believe they changed up some of the level design in some areas. Yeah, I just didn't like the way Plague Knight handled. I love Yacht Club games for developing that free DLC, and I think it's great that they're fleshing out some of the knights as characters. And there's some other side characters that they sort of turned to main characters from the village that I think is pretty cool. But
I love these guys. These three dudes, I love.
Oh,
I love the animation on them. The guy on the right, especially. He's just he's boisterous.
Chester?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think Jordan will come to really like Chester, just because of his name. Oh, and this one's for you, Jordan.
Oh boy!
Oh, Dan, you're gonna hate him.
No, I like him.
Oh,
it's good.
But he's a pun frog.
No, that's okay. I can appreciate that.
Oh,
because you can choose when you want to talk to him. And when you want the pun.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't just come out of nowhere.
So puns are okay if you're seeking a pun.
If you're choosing to get it, then sure.
Oh, okay. But a pun out of nowhere is not appreciated.
No, a pun out of nowhere is not a pun for me. Yeah. So Yacht Club, they came out with the Plague Knight stuff, which was free DLC, which is very cool.
And they're currently.
I think they haven't. Did they ever release a second thing? I think they have something in the works right now, but I don't remember if that was like a sequel or if that's going to be another like free DLC.
They're currently developing Spectre Knight, and there are rumors that they're working on King Knight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like the idea, but these are all for this game, right? Like it's not Spectre Knight. I think they said is going to be a prequel and it's going to have some like new plot stuff, but it's still effectively this game.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It is still part of this game, to my knowledge. Or at the time of this recording.
That's cool. I feel like I should go back and play Plague Knight. This game's great. I should play this game.
What are we doing right now?
This is a mini game. Mona runs this little mini game here where you basically knock these potions into those buttons, and you get points. And if you get enough points, Mona is somewhat glad and gives you money and music.
I totally don't remember.
I should point out that this is a 100% run of Shovel Knight.
Whoa, really?
Oh. Yes.
Really?
This is a
Damn,
complete,
son.
I have 100% this game about 6 times now.
Wow.
I can usually complete the game.
Can't wait.
I can usually complete the game in about 3 hours. I think this playthrough is 4 hours, only because I stupidly paused the game and I think got food or something when I was recording this one night. And then when I came back, I realized that that the game that added on towards my final time count. So if I didn't do that, this would probably be closer to 3.5 hours. But the way I edit it is that long anyway.
I love how Shovel Knight can use his shovel as a pogo stick.
Oh, that shovel can do anything.
Yeah, I mean that move is specifically drawing from the DuckTales game, like the NES DuckTales game, where that's your attack in that game.